Alright, this is going to get a spray coat of lacquer, and I'm just using a can of spray lacquer from the hardware store. Pretty cheap, inexpensive, does a good job for very small areas like this. Dries quickly. It'll look nice to pop this nice flat peg head with logo on it. Real light coats work just fine. They work much better than a thick coat. A couple of thin coats. I'll let this evaporate a little bit, put just a little bit more on, and then let it dry for 30 to 60 minutes, then come back and hit it again. Okay, that's dried for 30 minutes. I'm going to put another coat on it. Okay, that's the second coat. It'll probably need 3 or 4 coats in order to really do a good job of getting a nice smooth finish. I'll check back in a little while and we'll come back and recoat it again. Now, last night I completed 3 light coats about 30 to 45 minutes apart on this peg head with the spray lacquer. I am now getting ready to come back and I'm going to sand it because you can see it's a little rough. It's a little orange peely. So I'm going to take 400 grit sandpaper and sand that back to where it is flat. And when I say flat, what I mean is I am trying to take all of the shiny spots out of this. And I want to go gently because I don't want to sand through the lacquer. While lacquer melts into itself really well, I don't want to risk any witness lines or being able to see any of the layers coming into each other on this peg head. And ebony can show some of those things pretty well because the shades can make a difference in between layers. So I've got a few little goobers here that I need to get out. And I'm working on getting this flat. Sometimes I will get this close to flat, put a few more layers on, let it dry completely, and then sand it back again. Really, with this lacquer, it's just so easy to use, and especially on a small peg head like this, doing several coats, I really don't mind. It's not a lot of work. I really want to focus on building it up enough that I can sand it back to where I don't have those glossy spots anymore. One of the tricks with finishing is leaving as little on the surface as you can while still having a good, consistent, flat surface that looks good when you either polish it up or when you satin it back. And I tend to use 400 when doing this just because it doesn't go through too fast. If I used 220, I risk going through that finish pretty quickly. But I'm happy with the way this looks. It's nice, flat, looks consistent. You can see in the reflection, it's a really nice flat surface. So I am ready to touch this up and put another coat on it. Okay, I like the way this is looking. It's settling nice and flat, so I'm going to let this cure for a couple hours and come back and sand it. I let it sit for a couple hours. I wet sanded it with the 400. I got it to a real nice flat surface, and I let the water from the wet sanding dry. And then I hit it with one final coat of satin lacquer. And I like the way this looks right now. It is going to shrink back a little bit. So I'll let this sit overnight and let it shrink back even a little bit more. If there are a few low spots, I'm just going to repeat this process again, which is super easy. I mean, the lacquer is so forgiving and so easy to do. Sanding it back and putting a few more coats on is really no trouble at all. So don't worry about trying this if you haven't done it before. It's a good place to experiment, and hopefully if you can follow those few steps that I just laid out, you'll be just fine. I will catch you in the next video.